Welcome to the Crystal Earth Podcast, brought to you by the Crystal Earth Gallery, your mineral and bead emporium. I'm your host, Nic Scogna, and each week we're going to dive deep into the fascinating world of gemstones. From their physical properties to their metaphysical powers, we're going to explore what makes each stone unique. Plus, we'll occasionally be joined by special guests who share their expert insights, their offerings as well. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, there's something here for everyone. Let's discover the wonders and treasures of the earth. And welcome back to the Crystal Earth Podcast. Today we're going to be delving into agates. This is a big subject, and I've picked out a few, up to 10 agates to go over, the properties of these agates and how to ID them. I do want to implore you to subscribe to the show, help boost us in the algorithm by dropping us a comment of your favorite stone and maybe your favorite agate for this show. If you have a favorite agate, or the agate that is native to the area where you live. I live in Kentucky, so Kentucky agate is native to my area, and we'll be going over that as well in the list. So all about agates. One of the things about agate that I know from my business is if I don't know what somebody's presenting me and it has bands in it and it's translucent, I'm likely going to think it's an agate of some sort, but I may not know the location. And the locality of the agate is... it tells you a lot about what is their minerals that are present, like iron or manganese, that is becoming part of the stone when it's infused and solidified and turned into this agatization, stone material. So we're going to go over the basics of agate and then the differences between agate, chalcedony, jasper, and what that terminology is. And then, of course, the metaphysical aspects of the different agates as well. So agate is a silica-based, a quartz-based mineral. This would be a lower order from chalcedony. So chalcedony would be above agate and jasper. If you don't know what you have, it's either a jasper or an agate. That's a common way to reference stones. It's likely a jasper or likely an agate. A jasper will be opaque, and it is also a chalcedony, but of the opaque variety, again, a quartz base. And agate would be the translucent variety, most specifically translucent with banding. And chalcedony is typically considered also translucent, but without banding. But it is of the chalcedony would be the next step up. And then from there, you'd have your quartz minerals. So when you see agate, a lot of times you'll see it with quartz crystal growing inside it or on the periphery of it. The agate itself is the silica-rich groundwater that goes into these pockets and layers the pocket with this agatized material, and then layers it again with more material, maybe with more iron in it to give it more red or brown, and then layers it again. And then if there's a void in that space, through time, heat, pressure, you get crystals that'll grow in that void, or not always, but good chance. So you'll see a lot of geodes that are like an amethyst geode. You'll see it being rounded on the outside, and that is actually the shape of the stones, the cavity of the stone, where the agate went in and solidified the pocket of volcanic rocks, right? So silica rich, and it is formed through pressure and time, and of course with the minerals present, and then you get beautiful patterns and all that. And agate's really known for the patterns. So what is the difference between agate, chalcedony, and jasper? That's basically a jasper is going to be opaque. You're not going to be able to see through it. Agate, you're going to have clarity, but you're going to have banding. and chalcedony is going to be clear. Not all clear stones are chalcedony, but in the case of what we're talking about, if it's chalcedony and it has that milky appearance, is usually what I tell. I say, that if somebody's asking, I say chalcedony has a milky look to it, or a hazy look, and it's translucent. When there's bands present, it's almost assuredly an agate, which is also saying it's a chalcedony. It gets a little confusing, but it's just the order of things: quartz, chalcedony, agate. Silicates like this, all quartz-based, we're dealing in the trigonal crystal system, and that's going to give us a personality and character to the stone, okay, to agates in general. And we would also look to the color of the stone, the shape, and of course how it grows and all that, and the minerals present when we want to arrive at our metaphysical attributes for the agates. Now, I have a lot to go through as far as them. I did pick out 10, so we'll see if I can get through all of them. We had Blue Lace Agate, and I have a few to show for our show here today. So we have just examples coming from the internet of some of these really beautiful agates. So cue this up here. Okay, so there we have, we've queued it up for the pictures. We got Blue Lace Agate. It's a pale blue to deep blue, banded with white bands as well. Very striking, very beautiful. As you can see, these are polished, looks like polished points, and you have that negative space in there where the crystals are growing. That's that space inside the geode where the crystals are trying to go towards the center. Again, pressure, heat, and time is creating these wondrous creations. So again, layers of microcrystalline or microscopic crystals, okay, quartz crystals. The banding is fairly fine and very distinct with this blue color. And the blue is coming from manganese. That's the mineral that's interjected with the silica-rich groundwater to create the blue color, rather than it being just clear or transparent in transparent white or milkiness. The metaphysical keywords for Blue Lace Agate: communication, clarity, and calming. This is a calming gemstone, very useful for bringing about a calm state within somebody that has a bit of hypertension or anxiety. The elemental correspondence for Blue Lace Agate is water. You might think water, well, it would be a water sign. We're actually going to be sticking with the communication point. We're going to be going to the throat chakra, corresponds numerologically to number 5, and to Gemini, which would be the ruler of communication in this instance. So let's see what else we have here. We have our next stone, moss agate. One of my favorites. I love moss agate. The green dendritic appearance of what looks like moss or trees inside the stone. It can have a white base or matrix to it, and a lot of times that will be called tree agate. And then, of course, moss agate can be very translucent and fetch a nice price as well for really choice specimens with the moss inclusions or the dendritic inclusions. So with moss agate, we have manganese and iron oxides that will create these dendrites. The color green is coming from chlorite or hornblende. And for our metaphysical keywords, we're looking at growth. Think of moss. Think of abundance, green, prosperity, and a connection to nature. It corresponds to the element of earth, numerologically to the number 7, and astrologically to Virgo. That's moss agate. Now for our next one, really special. Anybody that knows this stone, feel free to comment if this is one of your favorites. This is a lot of people's favorite stone because of just how striking it is. Brown with this iridescent rainbowy flash. It grows in botryoidal shapes. You can see those round bubbles. That's the botryoidal. It's basically chalcedony that grows like that. You'll see that a lot with carnelian, other chalcedonies. And of course, you have this this fine layer of iron oxide, just giving us this iridescence, this wonderful limonite appearance inside the stone, giving us a rainbow flash to it, which is just great. And a lot of really wonderful pieces I've seen out of Arizona, the fire agate. It can be expensive, depends on how brilliant the piece is. But you can also find them very inexpensively and get really nice pieces that are with a lot of rock, with a lot of base rock to it, or cabochons for jewelry. Now, the metaphysical terms for this one are going to be passion, creativity, and vitality. Elementally, it is a fire element, and at numerological correspondence is to the number 1. So we're going to have Aries as our astrological component, and Leo, which is also a number 1, the leader and the reluctant leader. So fire agate, very beautiful. If you can get your hands on some of that, I highly recommend it. It's really amazing material. Our next one, we have Botswana agate. Botswana agate will be a pink and oranges, gray with white bands, making it really pop. Really prized material, Botswana agate. Makes really nice beads and cabochons, of course. And this is formed in ancient lava flows. We consider this to be an older agate. Most agates are formed, millions of years ago. Does have a good zigzagging pattern in the agate. It's a definite way to look at it, but it's the colors that mostly tell you. I think that's Botswana. Then it'll have varying iron oxide content to a lesser or greater degree, giving this variable colors, shades. Now, the key words that we're looking at with Botswana is creativity, artistic expression, and comfort. This is a stone that will put you at ease and put you in a state of relaxation. It elementally goes with earth. The numerological correspondence is with 7, and this time we are astrologically looking at a stone for Gemini. So that is Botswana agate. Now let's get to our next one. I really enjoy the name of this one, but it is also a beautiful formation of the agate. This is Crazy Lace Agate. Crazy Lace Agate has dynamic swirling patterns of various colors, and it's formed in volcanic vents. It is considered complex, hence the word crazy, and has swirling patterns due to the rapid mineralization. But there will be various mineral impurities causing the different color shades, and that would be, of course, iron and manganese are the 2 more common ones, oxides. The key words here for Crazy Lace Agate: joy, laughter, and positivity. It's a very potentially expansive stone. So therefore, we're looking at a element of fire, numerological correspondence of 3, and for this astrologically, Sagittarius. So think Jupiter with Crazy Lace Agate. Really beautiful stone. Now we did the moss agate with that green dendrites. Now we're going to go into the dendritic agate. Most specifically, it is the stone known for these beautiful patterns, the dendritic patterns of what looks like ferns or moss. This is a pretty nice specimen, and you'll have this almost scenic visuals. Now we will get into some really nice scenic jaspers when we get to picture jasper and jasper, but in the agate world, this is dendritic agate for me. This is really, really exceptional material. Love dendritic agate. Now, dendritic agate has this tree-like inclusion, typically with a light chalcedony background, and the introduction of manganese or iron oxides gives it this fern-like pattern. The colors come from the manganese oxide. The metaphysical key word for dendritic agate is patience, perseverance, and plentitude, having plenty. And what I think about dendritic agate, I think about harvesting, the process of growing seed from seed to harvest. And that's kind of how I think of it. So it's a stone that builds patience and builds the realization of waiting for the good things to come for that which you have put down seed for. Elemental correspondence earth, numerologically corresponds to number 4, and astrologically to Virgo. It's a very earthy stone. Now we're going to get into a Lake Superior agate. Now this can have some really nice circular and orbicular patterns as well. This area is known for stuff you can find on the shoreline. It was pushed in by glaciers, and it has really beautiful banding of reds, oranges, and yellows. Very beautiful, very distinct, and lots of concentric circles. High iron content, giving it these red hues, and orange and browns. And now keywords, we're looking at grounding, stability, and strength. So this is a strong, powerful, and fortifying type of agate. It corresponds to earth. And number 6 for the numerological correspondence. And Taurus is the astrological sign for Lake Superior agate. This can be collected on the shores of Lake Superior, if you know what you're looking for. So let's see. We have another one. This is a very fun one. This is an agatized, fossilized freshwater snail, the Turritella agate. Now, these make really cool pendants. And also, when working with them, very good directive cardinal type of stones because of that shape, the shape of the shell. So typically brown or browns with the fossilized snail shell appearance in there, that diminishing spiral. It is a fossil-bearing agate, or what I like to call agatized fossil. And it can be one or more different types of fossils. But the brown coloration is typically thought to be from the organic material of the fossil, of the shells itself, or of the seabed even. The keywords with most fossils is going to be ancient wisdom, and for the Turritella, it's survival and connection to the past. And that kind of goes with a lot of the organic fossil material because of its preservation of something from the past. So it's allowing us a pretty good view and a pretty good access point into the depths of time, let's say. Elemental correspondence earth, numerological correspondence 8, and like I said, it's a cardinal, it's a directive. Astrologically, it corresponds to Capricorn. And when you think about Capricorn, you think about 8 and earth, and you think about fossils, you think about time. So this is a stone that you work the clock with this material, this stone. So Turritella agate, really neat. You can have some really nice cabs with just an isolated single fossil, which is really nice. Or you can have this more fossil bed or seabed of fossils in the cabochons. Very nice material. We're going to go into our Laguna agate now. Laguna agate, prized. Lots of really nice colors. As you can see, great variety. And of course, the shapes are really dynamic as well. This would be formed in rhyolitic lava flows, rhyolite. The banding is considered intricate, extremely fine banding. It can be about 140 bands per inch, which is just phenomenal. So very complex interplay. There's various mineral impurities that are causing the different colors, often resulting in the reds and oranges, which are typically prized with agates. Now, the metaphysical aspects for Laguna agate: balance, harmony, and integration. Elementally, it is to the fire element. Numerological correspondence is 11, and we will get into the octaves and the different numerological numbers in a different show, but this one goes to what is called a master number, number 11. And the astrological correspondence is Libra. So the ultimate sign of finding or seeking balance in all things, and harmony and integration. And when you think about the way that it grows, the way agate in general grows, layer upon layer upon layer. So you're able to work with this to uncover things in the depths. It's really wonderful for that aspect. Now we're going to go to where I live, Kentucky. This is not too far from here. This material is found and prized over the world. Look at that bright red. It's just amazing. The black central area, and then you'll have like black druzy crystals on the inside. Just beautiful. You also have oranges and yellows as well, with concentric circles. And not too unlike the Lake Superior, but if you know your material, you know that this is Kentucky, and Lake Superior, which is this one here, they're just very different. So with the Kentucky agate, you can have a lot of different variables in the colors. It depends on which specific area you're digging that you're going to find either more yellow or more red. It's formed in limestone cavities, and it has a very distinctive, vivid color. Typically, it has high iron content. The red bands from iron in oxidizing conditions, and the yellow bands are from iron in reducing conditions. The metaphysical keywords for Kentucky agate: grounding, vitality, and balance. The elemental correspondence is earth and fire. The numerological correspondence is 8, and then the astrological correspondence is Leo. Now, Leo as a fixed sign, so you can see where you have your grounding and stabilizing force again with the agate. And of course, with all with all the agates, you're going to be. And here's one I have sitting here. And of course, for this show, I've got my geode tie-dye on, representing. I was wearing it already before the show, before I thought about the show. So I thought, what the heck? I'll leave it on for the show. Known for the banding. It's really a wonderful stone to work with, and you can kind of pick your color that you want to work with as well. So very useful for a lot of different color energy work. And I definitely enjoy it. Now, if you got anything out of this show, you enjoyed listening to the show, you like to talk about crystals, like to talk about rocks. I love to talk about rocks and crystals from whatever perspective, whether that be the scientific or the metaphysical. And if you like this show, I definitely ask you please to subscribe. Let's keep the show alive. I'm on my way to my first 100 followers with your help. So let's go on and let this ride and see where we can take it. And let's bump crystals up in the algorithm. And hopefully we all have learned something with the information for agates. In researching it, I learned more about agate than I knew. And I hope that I put that out in a way for you that you learned as well. My hope is that you do learn from these shows and that you get information that will help you either ID them or just be more informed metaphysically about them for using them. But I do appreciate your comments. I got a comment for their favorite stone being the Melody Stone and Super 7, and also Jadeite. So I wasn't planning on doing a show for either of those, and now they're on my list. So if you have a favorite stone of yours that you would like to hear about, you want me to do the diagnosis for them and figure out their different metaphysical aspects, you want to learn more about them, and feel free to comment in this show or any of the shows, making a list of them so that I can put them together. I will be going through the ABCs, so I'm still an A, and I'm going to be an A for quite a while, quite a few shows. There's a lot of A's to hit. Up next, amber. I'm going to have amethyst, or fedzonite, astrophyllite, or astrophyllite, depending on how you say it, apophyllite. A lot of great stones coming up that we're going to be covering. So if you're into this kind of thing, you want to learn more about rocks, please hit subscribe, hit the bell for the notification, comment, push us up the algorithm, because we're just starting out and looking to see where we can go with this. So really appreciate you listening today. And until next time, be well.